Hello students, welcome to poem Animals written by Walt Whitman. This is poem number 5. Now, this poem is about animals and the poet's feelings about animals. So, Walt Whitman has shown the comparison between human beings and animals in his poem. He has pointed out the evils present inside the human brain, which he thinks that animals don't have. And that is the reason why he thinks animals are much better than human beings. But before we can read the poem, let us learn something more about the poet. Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is a major figure, was a major figure in the early American poetry, and he broke the tradition of rhymes and metrical poetry. He was famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry, which was in free verse. That means all the last words are not rhyming, so that is said to be free verse. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. So, now let us read the poem and understand it verse by verse. Animals by Walt Whitman. The poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans, whom he finds complicated and very false. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get these tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So, here as we can see, the poem is not very long. It's a short poem, but it has a lot of depth and there is a lot of, there is wonderful meaning in this poem. So try and understand. Although it seems very simple, it isn't as simple as it looks. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. So first of all, what is the meaning of these words? The meaning of the word placid is very calm and peaceful, and contained is the ability to keep control. So, what does the poet say? He says that he thinks he could live with animals. Why? Because they are very peaceful, they are very calm, and they are like self controlled. And so, he enjoys watching them, standing and looking at them very for a long time. So, the poet says he wants to live in the world of animals and he finds the world of animals much better than that of human beings. He also says he finds animals peaceful, more peaceful than human beings. Because why? What is the reason for that? Okay, so let us see. Now, why does he say that? Uh, uh, they do not, they have no greed of worldly things or any kind of achievements. They are self contained. They are happy with their life as it is and they don't interfere in the lives of others. Human beings have this habit of interfering in other people's lives. Each one is like, instead of being concerned with themselves, people are more concerned about what others are doing, and they're not concerned only with themselves. So the poet considers animals to be better than human beings. He says, and that's the reason why he prefers to stand and have a good look at them. Now, let us continue reading further. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. So, here as we can see, children, The meaning of the word whine is to cry. Like, people are constantly complaining. I don't have this and I don't have that and I don't have sufficient money and what am I going to do? And I don't have enough strength and I have no time to do this and that. So they constantly keep whining. Then sins are wrongdoings. Whatever wrong path you have done in your life is called a sin. Anything that is wrong, you feel you have done wrong in the eyes of God, is a sin. And demented means to be mad or disturbed. Then the next, so kneel is to bow down before somebody else. Like we bow down before God, but here it is kneeling means bowing down. So let us listen to the explanation. The poet says that unlike human beings, animals do not complain of any misery, of any sadness. They never cry aloud and complain like human beings do to show what they have lost. They never stay awake in the night crying in repentance that, oh, I have done this wrong and that wrong. It means that animals are different from human beings. They don't show anger, they don't show grief if something wrong happens to them. He says that animals are very honest, very truthful. They never boast about their good deeds done in the name of God. He says most of the human beings do this. Like, they try to show off whatever good they do. They want others to see and to notice that in order to gain popularity. So the poet thinks that animals never irritate him by doing such things just to get praise from their fellow people. So he also feels that animals are not dissatisfied. Like whatever things we have, we are never satisfied with what we have. If we have, like suppose you have a scooter, then you want a car. If you have a car, you want a bigger, a better model of the car. So we are never happy with the things that we have. We always want to get something more. Like we are always wanting to achieve something that we don't have. Whereas animals are not dissatisfied like human beings. They are happy with whatever they have. If they get 2 square meals a day, then they are very content with that. They never run after worldly things. They never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. He says that none of the animals is mad. Trying to own worldly things. So he says that not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself, and they evince them plainly in their possession. So the meaning of the word kneels is to bow down. I just said that before. Then tokens is here the qualities, and then evince is to show or to reveal, and possession is the ownership of to have something, to own something. So here the poet says that he has never seen any animal showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. They never do so even for their ancestors. Okay, for the animals that lived before. They do not show devotion to God like human beings do. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. But human beings, rich people, are generally given more importance and treated with more respect than the poor. But in the society of animals, all seem to be equal. They never do so. They never give more or less importance to any one or other animal. Everyone in the animal kingdom is happy. They are not like human beings who find themselves either the happiest person today and the saddest person tomorrow. The poet says that animals are more honest in showing their relations to other animals. They do not hide things. So here he wants to say that animals use their other animals as their food, and they never try to show that they are holy. If they are hungry, only then do they go and kill. They do not kill just for the sake of pleasure like human beings do. No? Human beings go and hunt other animals. They don't want to eat those animals, but they just want to show how brave, how courageous they are by hunting a lion, a rhinoceros, a hippopotamus, or a leopard, or a tiger, or a lion. So they hunt for pleasure, whereas animals do not do that. They hunt other animals, but only if they are hungry, and that is the law of the jungle. What is the law of the jungle? The survival of the fittest. So he says that animals are very true and honest in showing their relations with other animals. So then we come to the last two lines. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So the poet is like, introspecting. He's thinking inside himself, like he's thinking, Chintan, Manan Kareche. And he says that from where did these animals get those good qualities? And he thinks himself that where have his own good qualities gone? Did he leave them about very carelessly? Did he lose them somewhere? And the qualities that were found in human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, now he can see those wonderful qualities in animals. And he wonders that when did humans give up these qualities? And now, since they have given up these wonderful qualities, they have passed on to the animals. It's like if you had something valuable and you lose it, and then somebody else finds it, and that becomes a part of them. So here, the poet Walt Whitman is like, introspecting and thinking that once upon a time, human beings were very kind, they were very loving, they were very innocent. But today, it's not like that. They are very cunning, they're very shrewd, they are very mercenary. They, like, want to earn money at the cost of others. So, all these things, from where have they come and where have the good qualities gone? So, that is what the poet is. The poet is trying to say. There is no rhyme scheme followed in this poem, but we will we will discuss the question answers of this poem. Notice the use of the word turn in the first line. I think I could turn and live with animals. What is the poet turning from? Well, children, this is something that you have to think about. So, let us look at the use of this in the first in the first line. In the first verse, let us go back and look at it in the first line. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. So, the poet says that he's turning away from living in the world of human beings. That means he is tired and fed up of living with human beings. They are so insincere. They are so, shallow. So, he finds animals more peaceful, more calm, and self contained. Therefore, he turns away from living with human beings and wants to live with animals. Now, let's go to the next question. Mention three things that humans do and animals don't. Three things that humans do and animals don't are as follows. Human beings complain, they cry about their miseries and their sorrows that they face. Humans lie awake in the night thinking about all the wrong that they have done. And human beings also keep telling others about their religiousness. That means they like whatever good things they do and whatever they have done for God, what they do for God and for others, they like make a show about it, which animals do not. Do humans kneel to other humans who lived thousands of years ago? Discuss this. So, yes, human beings kneel to other human beings who lived thousands of years ago. They could be saints, Sant Mahatma, they could be some ancestors or gurus or preachers whom they follow very religiously. So they worship them and follow their teaching. Then, what are the tokens that the poet says he may have dropped long ago and which the animals have kept for them, for him? Discuss this. So, Whitman belongs to the romantic tradition that includes Rousseau and Wordsworth, which holds that civilization has made human beings false to their own true nature. So, what could be the basic aspects of our nature that human beings choose to ignore or deny? Now, the word token is like a symbol. The word token is the good qualities, the good nature, the good character of human beings. The poet feels that nowadays good qualities and good values and character do not exist in human beings. They have lost them for the sake of worldly things which they want to achieve at all costs. So, children, I hope you have understood this lesson, this poem well, that animals, the poet prefers living with animals rather than living with human beings. So let us not, like we say, no, don't act. When children are naughty, we say, don't act like an animal, but that is an insult to the animal. So when we look at animals and we see good qualities in them, then we must try to copy the qualities that are there, of being self-contained, of being calm, of being peaceful, of not wanting things, of not bowing down to others, but being very content with what they have, not running after worldly possessions, and not hunting for the sake of pleasure. So all these are very simple things in life, but they are the most important things. So if we could understand what is the most important things, and if we could apply that to our life, that would be a wonderful change. So children, read the poem a few times and then write down all the question answers in your fair book. Thank you and have a nice day.